Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
All right, what's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it and subscribe. As always, the universal handle for the socials is at Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. Today we're going to do we're going to talk about where Syracuse is in the quadrant system. We'll give a quick synopsis of the quadrant system and the net rankings and how that's working this year. And then we're going to get into Pitt. They're coming into the Dome this Saturday, January 19th. And I believe that game's at what? Is it
2?
2? Is it 2?
Yeah, it's 2.
Where is it? Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's
so we'll
2.
do that. But
just trust me.
But first, before we get to all that fun stuff that you come here for every day or every episode, right? The Armchair Media Network, which is who we provide Syracuse football and basketball coverage for, they have their own official ticket provider. It is Tix Blitz. And unlike other ticketing providers at Tix Blitz, the price you see is the price you pay. Unnecessary fees should not prevent you from seeing the sporting event, concert, or Broadway show that you're deciding to go to. So go to tixblitz.com and enter the promo code armchair at checkout to receive 5% off your total ticket purchase. That's tixblitz.com, promo code armchair, tixblitz.com. Guaranteed seats, guaranteed emotions, and boom, just like that, we're into the show. So, first, Mark is okay. He's back at practice, okay?
Thank God. Like what Joe said, he got hit by a bus, so thank God.
He got plowed. And
well, you know what's funny about that, too? I saw a little clip with Nico Tamurian and Adrian Autry. You saw that, right?
Uh-huh. And
he said that he would do it five times.
Yeah. Why?
To foul him out. 5 fouls.
5 fouls, that's right. Would you expect a different answer out of Mark, though?
No, absolutely not. Right. That's why he's a fan favorite, man.
I know. That's why everybody loves him. Qadis Wahab. Look, this is all you need to know, okay? He's 6'10", 230-pound center, and he has got his schools narrowed down to, he's a Syracuse recruit. He's got his schools narrowed down to Syracuse, Pitt, Georgetown, Connecticut, and Virginia Tech. He has tentatively set his date for January 30th, according to reports for his announcement. So we'll find out January 30th about him. And also, Syracuse football linebacker Nadarius Fagan. He is going to transfer at the end of the spring semester. He said on Twitter, or in a direct message, I guess maybe to Syracuse.com, that he was transferring to get closer to family due to personal reasoning. And he did appear in 4 games on special teams as a true freshman in 2017, but he did not see any action last season. So we wish him the best wherever
absolutely.
He decides to go, and hope everything's okay with the family stuff, obviously. So. All right, I'm gonna let you know where Syracuse sits in the net rankings in a second, but this is essentially how it goes. Now, there's really only one aspect of this that is kind of vague when you really break it down, and that's the team value index. Okay, so what the team value index does is it factors in the opponent, the location, and obviously the winner, and that produces a team value index score. How do they get the team value index score? Well, it's an algorithm. So
of course it is.
So there's no telling, okay? And that's the one thing that we were talking about when we kind of went on our tangent there a couple episodes ago, that, you know, the unknowns and the unknown formulas, things that aren't mathematic, kind of like the RPI, but the RPI is kind of, it's similar, but it's different. Now we got an algorithm, and there's human error, and there's computer error, so or factoring. And then, so that's team value index, and there's nothing you can do about it. Net efficiency, and there's obviously there's a formula for that. Field goal attempts minus offensive rebounds. So field goal attempts minus offensive rebounds plus turnovers plus 0.475 times free throw attempts, and that gives you the total number of possessions, okay? Now you take the total number of points, and you divide that by the total number of possessions, and that gives you your team's offensive efficiency. Now, the formula for defensive efficiency is the same thing. You just do it to your opponent, okay? Now, the net efficiency would be taking your formula on offense that I just explained and the same one for defense, and you take the offensive one minus the defensive one, and that gives you your team's net efficiency, okay? That's simple, right? I mean, I know does it sound convoluted?
I guess when you explain it, I mean, I'm kind of a visual learner, so I'd have to see it on paper to make it,
right. Just
make a little bit more sense for me, but maybe it makes sense for other people, but
field goal attempts minus offensive rebounds plus turnovers. Then you take that number and you add it to 0.475 times free throw attempts, and you add those. That gives you total number of possessions. Total points divided by total number of possessions gives you your team's offensive efficiency. And like I said, you just do the same thing for the opponent for your defensive efficiency. And then your net efficiency, you take offensive minus defensive, that gives you your net. Okay? Okay. Winning percentage is another one. Wins divided by total number of games played. Simple, right? Why can't everything be that simple? Adjusted win percentage is that number, wins divided by total number of games played. And for every road win, you add 1.4. For every neutral win, you add 1. And for every home win, you add 0.6. And then on the losing end, it just goes back. Road loss is negative 0.6.
Negative, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Neutral loss is negative 1. Home loss
is
this
negative. All just kind of wrap up into the net ranking, or?
Yes. Yes. So...
and they take all those numbers and then somehow...
Yeah, so you have the winning percentage, and then they adjusted. And so those are two separate categories, but they are broke down. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
It's just a lot,
It's a lot. I know. It's convoluted. That's what we were saying. So, and then they add in scoring margin. Scoring margin is easy formula. The team score minus the opposing player's score every game, and I guess they get an average of that, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, but it's just weird because you really don't. After that, there's still got to be another. You got to take all those numbers, and there's another.
Right, there's another formula that we don't know.
Exactly.
So how do you get all that into the net rankings? Well, we don't know. We don't know. They act like they're being upfront about it, and there's no reason for us to sit here and go on and on about it, I suppose.
No, it is what it is. I guess we just got to go by their numbers, right?
Right, we go by their numbers.
You go by the net rankings to do your quadrant system,
right,
correct?
So, so when you want to break down your quadrant, you go, if you just Google NCAA net rankings, usually that's updated every day. They say it's supposed to be, but it's not always. So it will tell you at the top where it is dated through games through. This one, the latest is January 16th, which was yesterday. So, and you can check that every day. After every game, within 24 hours, they should have your new net rankings up. So, for instance, Pitt's coming in at a 53, okay? And we explained we were 59, and we moved up 10 after a big win. Pitt moved up after a big win. We went from 59 to
49 and then dropped down to 51 yesterday.
And Pittsburgh actually was at 53 and had a big win, and they stayed at 53.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's how it breaks down. Quadrant 1, we are 3-1. We've got one loss in the Quadrant 1 system. That was to Buffalo. Buffalo was a 14 in net rankings. They're on fire. Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Duke being the wins. Okay? Then you move on to Quad 2. We're 1-2. Doesn't sound that good, but it's the Cuse in the City games. It's the UConn game and the Oregon game that really hurt that, okay?
Yeah, though them being neutral, especially the UConn one, kind of saves us there a little bit right now.
A little bit, because then you go to Quad 3, and you got 2-2. One of those being, now these are the potential 2 losses that can slip even further, and they are Georgia Tech and ODU. I don't think both of those teams are good.
I don't think ODU will fall that far.
I don't think so either. I watched
But Connecticut makes me nervous because they lost to Tulsa last night.
Yeah, so. They lost to Tulsa, but they were 88 before Tulsa, and they're 90 now. So, and Tulsa was 111 in the net rankings. So, we're going to update this. We're going to let you guys know 3-1 in quad 1, 1-2 in quad 2, 2-2 in quad 3, and 6-0 in quad 4.
Which needs to stay undefeated.
Right.
But I don't even think we're going to play a quad 4 game the rest of the year, though.
Well, we don't. But as of right now, the resume is not that bad, guys. It's really not. It's really not. 3-1 in quad 1 wins, really good. So.
And you look at those quad 3 losses, and you wonder how much that Duke win helps to kind of erase that too. So.
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't hurt, and that Buffalo loss is not going to hurt either. So.
No.
All right. Well, that's it. So I guess Pitt's coming into the Dome January 19th. That would be Saturday. And that game's going to be at 2 o'clock, right? Is that the deal?
1,400 hours, buddy.
1,400 hours. All right, so the Pittsburgh preview is going to be brought to us by MyBookie, Joe. MyBookie.
Hi.
Don't be a bum sitting around and not getting in on some of the action this NFL playoff season, especially with the Super Bowl around the corner. Make sure you're ready for daily action by signing up at MyBookie today. They pay fast when you win. Ownership really cares about good customer service, and they offer the craziest props. Where you bet on is just as important as who you're betting on, and if you want to make some extra money during this NFL playoff season, you got to go to MyBookie. I trust them. But don't take my word for it. Check them out for yourself. Join now, and MyBookie will offer you a 50% deposit bonus to make sure you have a nice bankroll for the NFL playoffs in the remainder of. Use promo code Cuse25 when you deposit to activate the offer. That's promo code Cuse25 at MyBookie. You play, you win, you get paid. Both teams coming off a big win.
Yep.
Pitt sits at 12-5, 2-2 in the ACC. Syracuse holds the all-time series at 68-45. Syracuse and Pitt have played each other 104 times. That's the fourth most games for Syracuse against any opponent. And the two teams first met in 1914. Syracuse won the first 6 games of the series, and this is obviously, to say the least, is a historic rivalry. Both teams currently climb the net rankings after the wins. We mentioned that. And Syracuse at 49 and Pitt at 53, respectively. This team is sneaky dangerous, I think. 4 guys averaging double digits, and they can shoot the rock. Their least efficient guy for Pitt is shooting 40% from the field. So, as a team, they shoot 45.1 from the field, 34% even from 3, and 72.5% from the line. So, there you go. What else do you got, Joe?
Well, this team, it kind of scares me right now.
Yeah.
You don't really, we kind of look at the past couple of years, and they really haven't been that good. But they've actually, turned it around this year. And, they don't have a lot of really good wins, or at least they didn't in the non-conference. As soon as they got the conference, though, their 2 best wins right now are they won home games against Louisville by 3 and Florida State by 7, which was the big win you were talking about. But some of the losses that they've had at Iowa by 1, at West Virginia by 10. They lost at home against UNC by 25, at NC State by 6, and they actually lost. Their worst game was against Niagara at home. They lost by 1. So, they're like I said, coming into ACC play, they've been really good in the ACC, and they're one of those teams where it's just not the same team that we've seen the past couple of years, and yeah, it's led by Xavier Johnson and Trey McGowan's 2 freshman guards, both 6'3". They average 17 points and 14 points a game, respectively. Jared Wilson-Frame, who we saw last year, he's a senior, 6'5" guard, and I'm going to kill this. Adis Tony, another freshman guard, 6'6".
That name's dead.
Yeah, it's done. I don't know, but they start 4 guards, and then their other starter is a 6'10" forward, Sorrell Brown, who's a sophomore. So really, when you look at their starting lineup, they start 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior, and a couple of their other key contributors off the bench, Malik Ellison and Cameron Davis are juniors and seniors as well. So this team's only going to get better. They have a first-year coach, Jeff Capel, who he's got coaching experience. He, went to Duke, coached all the way up to Oklahoma. Actually, I think he beat us. I think he was the coach when Blake Griffin and them were there when they beat us in the tournament. Ended up going and being an assistant coach at Duke for a little while, and then he ended up picking up this job. And obviously, he's got a little bit of a good
slouch.
freshman. No slouch. He knows what he's doing. And I mean, you got 3 freshmen and a sophomore playing, and you're kind of doing what you're doing. They're not really, and like I said, not a bad team. Not the last couple of years, Pittsburgh's. But the one thing that I have with them that I've seen when I looked at their schedule is they haven't won an away game yet this year. So that kind of probably speaks to the youth that he's dealing with. And, I don't want to, be the team that kind of knocks that, I'm not saying they can't do it, but that is just, something to look at. Another thing to look at, too, that's kind of interesting is that all the clips that I saw when I kind of went back and looked at their highlights and stuff, because I wanted to kind of see what they were doing and playing and stuff, they play a 2-3 zone now. So I know with Coach K and Boeheim, them coaching together, I know he's, taught him a little bit about 2-3 zone. Duke played it a little bit last year. And I don't know if it's just Jeff Capel maybe taking that and going with it. But, again, they play 4 guards that are 6'6", 6'5", and 2 6'3" guys with a 6'10" guy in the middle. So, they play a 2-3 zone just like us. So it'd be interesting to see. It's just going to be a whole different Pittsburgh team. And another thing that actually stood out to me as well, Trey McGowan's the freshman guard. He's got 41 steals this year. So
That's
he's obviously
crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Xavier Johnson averaging 17 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mention this?
Another freshman guard. Yep.
Oh, okay. You mentioned 17 and 14?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Those 2 freshman guards, man, they're
both
really
shooting
good.
45% too from the field. So,
Yep.
And I would be lying if I were to say I wasn't nervous about this game. I'm nervous about a lot. I always get nervous. But
Yeah.
Games like this, sneaky good, young. You don't know kind of what you're going to get. It's kind of a mixed bag, like you said. They've got some really good wins, and they're on a tear. This is not the Pitt Panther team from last year with the real life Homer Simpson coaching. What was that guy's name? Help me out. Come on.
Kevin Sumlin.
Yes.
No,
yes.
not Kevin Sumlin. Oh God.
What was it? It was Kevin something, right?
Kevin Stallings.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
So not the same team, man. They're not a slouch. They can shoot. You mentioned the 2-3 zone. I think that kind of works to our benefit, if anything. I don't think it works. I don't think.
Well, I mean, it all depends on if we're hitting our shots or not.
It does all depend, but on the other hand, too, they practice against themselves, so you gotta have some semblance of how.
Yeah, but a lot of times when you practice and you have like your practice squad in, you're going to be practicing against the defense that the other team's playing. So when you're making up a game plan and you have the second team or you got the practice squad there, they're playing man to man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
So they make it to where you kind of simulate what the other team is going to play. So again, it's not that's one of the things that always gets me. Everyone's like, oh, they play the 2-3 zone. How do they? Because sometimes they do struggle on offense playing against the zone. And again,
well, yeah, they do.
And what we talked about from the last game is like when they get out and they play fast and they play against a team that's got pace like Duke. Sometimes it works to our benefit because we'd rather do that than have to slow it down and play our half-court offense because we kind of struggle there sometimes. So, everybody, when we struggle playing against these zones, everyone's like, how do we not know how to play against a zone because we play 2-3 zone? I mean, that doesn't mean we're practicing. Most teams play man-to-man. Therefore, why wouldn't your offense be playing against or practicing against man-to-man? It wouldn't make any sense to have the practice team play 2-3 zone to get your team ready for a team that's playing man-to-man. So they only practice it when they're coming up against a team that's going to play it, which, I mean, more and more teams are playing it now. But in the past, most teams play man-to-man, and they still do.
Yeah, but you can't say that knowing it the way they do doesn't give them a little bit of an advantage.
Well, you'd like to think that.
You would
but,
like to think, but like you said, and like coach has said for years, and like he's got to keep reiterating to the media, is that when you play against the zone, you got to make your shots.
Yeah.
It was in the coach montage last episode when he was talking about Pitt coming in, actually. And he says if we shoot 7 for 33, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Big time is what he said.
Yeah. I mean, and when I looked at the Ken Palm stats, he has us at 36 overall with a 86 adjusted offense and a 12th ranked adjusted defense. Pittsburgh's got a 168 adjusted offense and a 25 adjusted defense with an overall total at 67. So, again, statistically, not a great offensive team, but again, that just could be because of like the pace.
And I just want to point out too that those numbers are formulaic too.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff Ken Palm uses is formulaic. I don't know. I don't know what he uses if it's the same as what's in the net, but it's got to be close. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Like I said, usually he's pretty close. I mean, he's the guy. That's the website I like to go to. I mean, I'm not going to put like 168 off it, but I mean, it kind of gives you. I mean, if we're at 86 and they're 168, I mean, it's not far fetched to say that we have statistically a better offense, But again, like
it goes against the defenses you play against. That's why.
Unless you go against the formulas, right? So you don't know what's in the formulas. So
right.
But overall, like it comes down to the main things and the little things that win basketball games, and we know that they play a 2-3 zone, so they're going to try to slow us down, get their defense set. So we got to try to push the ball and not allow their defense to get set. Hopefully, get some steals, some turnovers, and maybe those young guys will do that. And hopefully, a loud dome, because the students are back. We just beat Duke, so we should be able to. They should be ready than ever to get out there and actually get out. Because they haven't been there for so long.
You should be
First
excited.
game back,
sure.
Just beat Duke. They should be excited to get out there.
Section back. Yep.
Right. So hopefully they can make it loud for those freshmen. Those freshmen can make some mistakes. We can win the turnover battle, and we don't lay an egg because,
Let's have Chuku do his thing, man. Do you think Chuku starts?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. No, I don't think. No, I mean, I think it might depend on. I mean, I know they're saying Dolce's practicing, and who knows if he's going to be 100%. But I would expect if Dolce is good to go, then they'll probably just keep it. I think so, but you never know because
depends on what happened in practice too. I mean, if Chuku has a strong game against Duke and then he goes and has a great week of practice, I mean, Dolezaj is a filler. He's not like the guy. He's just there because it's been working out better.
And I looked at some of the guys' stats on Pittsburgh, and they don't seem like there's a lot of gunners out there. I mean, it seems like Jared Wilson-Frame is their one main three-point shooter, but I mean, they might shoot it efficiently, but they don't shoot a lot of them. So, I mean, a lot of that's going to come down to how they're shooting at the three-point. And, it's both teams, really. I mean, it's turnovers and how we're going to shoot, and that's really what you got to look at. So hopefully our defense can come, we don't lay an egg and kind of get full of ourselves just because we beat Duke, and just go in there and take care of business. And I
think the Duke thing, if anything, I think that's almost humbling. And I know it sounds it doesn't sound like it would be, but if you think about it, and having the struggles that you had, and to be able to go and do that, I mean, that can be humbling to yourself and be like, look, this is something might have clicked. This is what we need to do. Now they know what they need to do, and one of those things is not being cocky. I just don't believe that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
Right.
So
no, I know, but you just might have the mind frame of maybe what they did against Georgia Tech, where, I mean, who knows? All I know is that we need to finish out this first 6 game stretch that we talked about. We're 3-1. We talked about we need to go at least 4-2, if not 5-1, and
we have a shot to go 5-1. We have a shot to go 5-1.
And when we talked about it, after that Georgia Tech game, it didn't seem like we had a chance to go 5-1. We were looking at maybe 4-2 might be the best finish, but obviously, surprise, surprise, everyone was surprised on Monday, and Now we have 2 straight home games against teams that we are better than. We have better talent than, and we should win. We're going to be favorites in the game, and they're both at home. So there's no reason in my mind why we shouldn't be able to win these next 2 games, get the 14-5 and 5-1 in the ACC, and have the start. It's probably the best start that we could expect. Expectations could look at it, for the first 6 games. So,
and by the way, Syracuse's strength of schedule, because I thought that would factor into some of this net.
I'm sure it does somewhere.
It does, I think, in the team value index probably. Opponent location and winner. I mean, I don't know, but it's a 34, which is only probably gonna go up. By the way, so
we've only played one of the.
That's got to factor in the team value index, though. It has to. It doesn't say it, but why wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. It's somewhere, and we still got games against Virginia Tech, Florida State, NC State, Duke again, North Carolina, Virginia. I mean, come on.
Right,
so.
One at a time, and so we'll come back here like we always do on Sunday to give you the breakdown of the Pitt game, and we're going to preview for you Miami. So. Yeah. That is going to be on Thursday, so we'll get all that done for you on Sunday evening, within 24 hours after the Pitt game. So, or something close enough. Never take a couple hours. So, thank you to JP Mulligan's. Go to JP Mulligan's Facebook page and give them a like. You have a chance to win Syracuse basketball tickets just for liking their page. And when you see it pop up, like and share the post, and you are, boom, entered to win. For those, happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6, Trivia Tuesdays, every NFL game every Sunday as that's winding down. And, of course, they play every Syracuse game plus $1 off all the bet products. So thanks them. Thank you to Shopping Town Barbershop. Thank you to Armchair All-Americans. Thank you to my bookie, Tix Blitz, and all of you for listening. We really appreciate it. So that is all. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.